to a new episode of Flower Circus Talks, episode number 102 already. Today we have Dick van Raamsdonk, the president of HPP Exhibitions. They are already in business for almost 40 years, did 180 exhibitions in 35 countries, and finally, we're going to have an exhibition again in Holland. The IFTF is going to happen from 3 to 5 November. What's going to happen if there are some extra regulations in place? How many visitors, how many exhibitors will there be? So I'm really looking forward to these talks. And like they say on their website, in an increasingly digital age, nothing can replace the power of human contact. So yeah, that's why I'm so happy that there will be an exhibition. And let's quickly invite Dick into the stream. And before we invite Dick into the stream, if you like the video, please press the like button and subscribe to Flower Circus on YouTube, so you get all more information about Flower Circus, these interviews, a lot of inspiration as well. So don't forget to click and like. Dick, you're almost 40 years in the business already. Just when COVID struck 2 years ago already. Is it something
Yes.
you already experienced before, or I mean, this is worldwide, but in those 40 years, I can imagine that there were other things happening as well.
Yeah, I can write a book, but the absolute, let's say, thing that happened to HPP and me was, of course, 9/11 in 2001.
Yeah.
When we were building the show in the Javits Center in New York City. And when I was having my breakfast, seeing in a blue sky in Manhattan, one of the towers in fire. And later on, we saw the second tower go into fire, and we even saw one of the buildings go down. So that was a day that, of course, is burnt in my memory. And that was for me the thing that happened. That I would never have expected. But then Corona came, and I would not have imagined that something worse than that could happen. But I must say, although I don't, I'm in the position to give a value on that. For me, business-wise, of course, has been at least the same consequences as with 9/11, but I think even worse.
Yeah, especially now that it's a worldwide crisis, and you are having exhibitions all over the world.
Exactly, we have big exhibitions all over the world, and since February 2019, we have no exhibition whatsoever in the world, not even in our own country, Holland. Zero income, zero activity. Yeah. We just had to wait, and as we say in Holland, we have to sing the song until it's over. And I'm still singing, although I hope I can stop singing on November 3 when we open IFTF in Holland. That will be the first show in, let's say, in exactly 2 years, because the last show we did was November 19. It will be 2 years ago that we had any show, and that's then the home game IFTF. But and I would say let's hope it will take place, because I don't like to make things look more better than they are. I'm pretty sure the show will happen. But, it's a very insecure situation for everybody, and also for us, of course.
Yeah, still things are changing rapidly. You see still some countries where the cases go up. So, so we need to hurry up with the 3rd of November.
Yeah, you take the words out of my mouth. But yes, we have to. Anyway, I'm counting the days, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. During the whole COVID period, there were a lot of online initiatives trying to have some fairs or exhibitions as well. Yeah. Not all of them were a big success. Was it something you were considering as well doing?
I guess you're referring to the virtual exhibitions and all this online stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. But this has nothing to do with an exhibition. I mean, the basic ingredients for an exhibition are physical. You have to smell the product, you have to see the product, you have to feel the product, and you have to be able to talk to the people.
Yeah.
Physical. If that doesn't happen, you cannot even talk about an exhibition. Whatever it's called, it has nothing to do with an exhibition. And I'm in the exhibition business. That's where I develop myself in. And that again is the name has been, of course, used. Exhibitions, shows, trade shows, but yeah, an exhibition, a trade show is physical, and if it is not physical, it's not a trade show in my perspective. So no, I did not go into that stuff. Besides, even if it could happen, then it would have happened already in many other industries in the world. And not, but it didn't happen in any industry in the world. Not the car industry, not the high-tech industry, not in the fashion industry. It didn't happen. So you think that in the flower industry we would make the change? An industry where even more the product is important, color-wise, smell-wise.
Yeah.
So it would be even the last industry where a virtual exhibition could take place. It just doesn't exist, and there is no way, also economically speaking, to make one penny on this kind of events. So to go short, it is nice, but we need the real stuff, and that's a physical exhibition. And I hope to be able to do that in 2 weeks. Sorry, exactly 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, so that's great. I mean, it's like with some of the breeders, when there's no red in a special flower, they just call dark pink. They call already red. So that's why they probably also went to online exhibition things.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even when the Facebooks and the Samsungs of this world need a physical exhibition, why should we, where we need to smell the product, see the product, touch the product, why should we have a online exhibition?
Yeah, I've never understood it, and I still don't understand. And I can tell you one more thing: it never worked before. It never happened before. I mean, I don't. What happened is not that I think was, let's say, right to call it an exhibition. But again, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But and it will never happen, because an exhibition is an exhibition. There are a lot of things that people say about exhibitions. Sometimes they say there are too many exhibitions. Sometimes they say it is an old-fashioned event. But in the end, everybody right now, if you put it all together, is longing for an exhibition.
Yeah.
Because people want to see each other again. They want to meet each other again. And and the most important thing, besides collecting information, it's not even the sales on an exhibition, where or in which activity you can meet people from 130 countries in 3 days.
Yeah.
That is on an exhibition. And until that will be improved by something else, an exhibition will be the event, the thing, the activity to use. And that is what it is at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is, of course, a great instrument, talking to each other via Skype, Zoom, and all those other things.
Yeah.
But the best is just to have eye contact, talk to each other. I just noticed in the whole industry that there's people stop to understand each other because they haven't seen each other for such a long time. I mean, on an exhibition, have a cup of coffee, or after the exhibition, have a beer or a wine, just in a normal atmosphere, talk to each other. It will help so much, and it will solve a lot of problems as well.
Yeah, correct. But what I just said, it's everybody is really longing for an exhibition, and that's why I'm pretty sure that the exhibition in 2 weeks will be pretty busy visited, because everybody wants, of course, to find out, hey, is it happening again? When I went to the first exhibition that took place again, I wanted to see it with my own eyes. I wanted to see it happen. Seeing is believing. I mean, I was even that far in security, like an exhibition is happening. Yes, it happens. It was here around the corner. But it is this. I'm sure that it will be visited by a lot of people. Internationally, I hope also a lot of people will come, and we are getting a lot of registrations, more actually than normal. But also there it counts that you have to see it to believe it. But things are going well, and I think everybody's looking forward to an exhibition.
Yeah, we had with Flower Circus, we had a small exhibition in France 2 weeks ago. The first 5 minutes people were inside, they were still a little bit what's happening, because they haven't been to an exhibition for a long time, and that was a small exhibition. But after 5 minutes, people were happy again, seeing each other again, and that was so good, just to walk between the flowers, meeting new friends, seeing old friends. That's great, and I think that will happen at the IFTF as well.
Yeah, that's correct. It's like after 5 minutes or after 10 minutes, actually, after walking here in Amsterdam, you don't have the feeling that Corona ever took place, ever happened,
Yeah.
and so yeah, and that also in an exhibition that happens like that. That feeling is back to the old normal.
Yeah.
That happens very quickly in like you say, 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, I'm also finding that out myself. I think before you realize it, hey, you're back to 2 years ago, and then you have to shake yourself like, hey, wait a minute, it was 2 years that you could not do a show, and now you think like, hey, it was like yesterday. So
Yeah.
I think we all will be back very quickly to the old normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Of course, there are still some regulations in the Netherlands.
Yes.
So what can we expect? Of course, the registration on forehand, I think it's good for also for you to know who's coming and from
Yeah.
where. But what can we expect when we come into when we park our car or come by bus?
Yeah. Now, yeah. Listen, if you visit the show after parking your car or haven't taken the bus, you have to go check in, as we call that,
Yeah.
and that's where, of course, you will be checked. I mean, we're just following, of course, the national rules on COVID, and that means, yeah, you have to show either your QR code if you're from Holland.
Yeah.
Another, I think, QR code if you're coming from Europe, and if you are not European, then you have to show some kind of paper that shows that you have been fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
If that's not the case, you need a negative PCR test certificate, max 24 hours valid. That will then allow you to be transferred to the real building,
Yeah.
where you can, of course, you will see the same situation as before, where you just have to register to get in. But yeah, before getting in, you need to, of course, show to a special unit that we have of people checking on your, let's say, status of COVID-19 regulations.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So we follow that.
yeah. I mean, and then that's the way to do. That's the regulations of the Dutch government, of course.
Yeah, it's a regulation. And also, a lot of people want that. A lot of
Yeah.
people want to feel safe. And yeah, again, the majority is still, let's say, 80% wants to be feeling safe by being vaccinated. So yeah, we follow the majority.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally true. What about masks? Because 2 weeks ago in France, we needed to wear masks.
Yeah.
But in Holland, you don't need to wear masks inside.
No, as long as the government here doesn't oblige us to wear masks and keep the 1.5 meter distance, then we will, of course, also not ask that. Again, we're just following the rules as they have been set by the people in The Hague, and that's what we're doing. But I mean, if that changes in the coming 2 weeks, I was hearing something on the news this morning that really didn't make me happy. But yeah, like also mask again. Yeah, if that's going to happen, that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't expect that, but whatever you know, what is common sense or what you hear on the news is going to be applied in our exhibition.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just that every country has its own regulations. That's why, for example, I'm in Kiev. You need to wear masks inside when you're in public transport. All those things. In France, we needed to show our QR code and wear a mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
now in
Holland,
we don't have that so far. I mean anymore. So I have to correct myself. So yeah, just prove that you're vaccinated or you're negative PCR test. That's what you need, and then you get the wristband, and then you can come in, and then things will be as before.
Yeah, great. What about the peoples with a stand? Is it can people come from all over the world, or are there certain countries or areas, Asia, for example, that there are less people coming? Or
yeah, there are of course some exhibitors that are. Yeah, the show is smaller. I mean, listen, I would be lying if I would say that the exhibition as big as normal. Impossible. I mean, things have been changing too much lately, but also too late actually. Because I mean, if we would talk now 4 weeks ago, it was even, let's say, not clear what was which countries could come in, which visitors and exhibitors could come in. Kenya, Ecuador, 5-6 weeks ago, there was no way they could come into Europe. And then they changed. I think it was the beginning of September. They changed the rules. And for me, of course, Kenya and Ecuador are two very important countries. Colombia as well, by the way, growers-wise. And they suddenly could come to Holland. And of course, that's when things started moving quickly.
Yeah.
But there are certain countries that have problems of flying into Europe. Also because, for example, that some people that come back to their own country then have to go into quarantine. So we don't have all the rules, of course, on the list. But if you go to our website and you go to the COVID-19 regulations, there is a link. And if you click on that, it's very nice. You can print in your country, let's say Mexico.
Yeah.
And then you have 4 or 5 questions to answer. Very easy. And then they tell you exactly what you need to come into Holland. And
Okay.
it's a very nice link. I'm using it also for several other things, although we put it on the website under the show COVID-19 regulations. Very, very easy, accessible, and also very handy.
Yeah, I will put it in the screen down below so people can click on it and go there. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's like it is changing all the time. I'm checking. I've got some links as well, checking all the time what's happening, what I can do, what I can't, and I'm surprised sometimes where we can fly, where we can't fly.
Exactly, and we will still have to deal with that for the coming time.
Yeah. So, but luckily we will have some people with stands from Ecuador, Colombia, and Kenya.
Yeah. We still have about 160 stands of exhibitor stands. Pavilion from Colombia and from Kenya, Ethiopia. So the show is really worthwhile to visit because again we are on 65%, I would say, space-wise and exhibitors-wise. Listen, I think it's way above the minimum that I would say the exhibition should have space-wise and exhibitors-wise. So we're there. But it would not be realistic that we are back to 100%. No, nobody has that, and there's nowhere it is that. So it will take 1 or 2 years to get back to the normal, let's say, size. But with 160 exhibitors, and still, let's say, 15,000 square meters of exhibit space, I think it's worthwhile to be there. And again, don't forget, we have exhibitors from all over the world. And indeed, what you say, from South America, from Africa, from the Far East. From the US also, although they get also their visas. They're not allowed to come to Holland, to Europe, but they're coming because I think some countries are very easy on the list of exemptions applications. So you're very easy to get a visa anyway. And I also heard that the Russians now allowed to come, even with Sputnik that being approved by the EMA in Europe, the EMA, but with a negative PCR certificate, they can come to Europe, to Holland. Again, don't forget, once the international travelers are in Holland, they already had to, of course, show and prove certain things. So if they went through that blockade, that hinderness, that problem, then they are, coming into the show would be actually not a problem. Should not be a problem.
No, it's the last part. I mean, that shouldn't be the problem. So that's the traveling is, and it's good that it's opening up. Even Russia as well. A lot of Russians normally on the show.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans as well. Australia is not going to be there probably because they will not. That's the only one that's really close together with New Zealand.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's done. As the French say, tant pis. But of the exception on the rule, you can also say that.
Yeah.
But some countries are. We are not back. Mr. Elbers from KLM. I mean, I remember him telling that 1.5 years ago already. He said before we're back to normal, we are talking 23, 24.
Yeah.
And I already thought at that time, I hope he's wrong, but I think he's right, and I think he will be right in what he said 1.5 years ago. It was in the beginning of the pandemic. So we have to build it up again. Everybody. The world has changed. The world has changed.
And I think the really nice thing, what will happen on this exhibition, is that there have been people working on so many new ideas. Sometimes at the exhibition you think I've seen this already, but now 2 years no exhibition. And so many things happening in the world. I think we're really going to see some new and improved things.
Because the industry hasn't sit still. They have been developing. They have been doing their business, and actually that's a good one. I should have told you, but you tell me. Thank you. There might be a lot of things that were not shown for 2 years that will now, of course, be shown. So there's a lot of new things to see. Yeah, correct. You're right.
Yeah.
You see, you learn every day, even me.
Yeah.
I mean, in my business, then, in my own business.
Yeah. I mean, and it's. I mean, everybody is longing to see each other again. And in America, there were also some local exhibitions, and they said some people even said I was hugging so many people I didn't even see the stands.
Yeah, but about the exhibition in the US, what I think was not very safe. But again, that's my own opinion.
Yeah.
I'm only talking here about my opinions. I mean, I'm not trying to say things as a fact. No, it's all about what I think, and I might be
Yeah.
wrong. So, but anyway, but the shows in the States that I saw were very poor. I haven't been there, but I saw them on and pictures, etc. Very and of course I understand, because everybody has to build it up. So also those shows had to be built up again. So it was poor, small, and poorly decorated. Let me put it that way. Now is maybe the United States not the best example when you talk about highly decorated exhibitions, because they work mainly with pipe and drape. So it's not very nice to see that. But anyway. They were small, and also because of the same reasons. So they're not alone. We all have to deal with that. Our show as well, and I'm glad that we're on the road again. But it will take, like with speed of a car, it takes some time before you are on your max speed and doing things again as you did before.
Yeah, it's just people need to get in and see that it's back to normal again, or back how it was, and get the feeling again. Notice it a lot with our own shows as well. People need to see that something is happening again, get the feeling themselves as well, traveling or visiting shows. Then it will happen again. I think this is the last piece of getting back to normal.
Yeah, the only insecure, let's say, factor that still is flying around is, of course, when is that thing called Corona away? Because it can always come back. But again, I think, when we, let's say, win this battle against this little bastard, then, we can get back to normal. And that will still take some time. But what I already noticed now is that it goes very quickly. People really go back to the old normal. I mean, in like you just said, also in no time. In no time, people are doing again the things, and maybe that's not good. But people forget also very quickly these days. So I think if this would now develop in the way, let's say it is, I'm not talking what's happening right now, but in the let's say in the development of the controlling of the virus. Then people will forget this also very quickly. I'm sure about that. And next year, same time, we might be talking again, and then it's going to be a completely different ball game. Could be a complete different ball game, and I'm expecting that also. I'm pretty optimistic that we will win this battle.
I mean, once this show has been going on, then of course you will have New York coming up. You've got Kenya and Ecuador also coming up. So let's hope, we'll see some 4 shows the coming period.
Yes.
And I think it's just a matter of trust. The people need to regain the trust again. Okay, we can do a show. We can meet people again, and we don't have any problems. I think that's the main thing for this exhibition.
Yeah, and for that you need people. But I think the people in our industry, I think, are in that respect also very, very entrepreneurial. And very, let's say, they are willing to take a little bit of a risk. They're not that formal. It's an informal industry. It's a very fragmented industry. So that also contributes to the way the flower industry has been developing themselves in the past 100 years, I would even say. So also that they're not scared, they're not afraid, they're not, let's say, the most scary people. So I think they will also therefore open or go into the doors that are being opened. And yes, I'm sure that and let's pray for that we will go back to normal in the coming year 22. And I think with what we can do now already, I'm happy, because we can do a show. I mean, listen, you would have asked me that 5-6 months ago, I would not have dared to say that. But we're doing it, show. We're on the road. We're moving. But we have to be patient, and we have to also take into consideration that it has to be, let's say, build up again a bit, because you cannot go from 0 to 100% in a month.
No, that's not good. And I think we're already making huge steps. So that's really great. Everybody's looking forward to it. Everybody is calling as well from all over the world. That's why I invited you. What's going on in Holland? Will it take place? How big will it be? Can I come? What do I need to do? Do I need to wear a mask? And that's the thing. Let's hope that all our governments learn from this crisis. Every country did it differently or does it differently.
Yeah,
So
that was, I think, a big mistake that we didn't
yeah,
cooperate in these things together. But anyway, that is how it works in politics, I would say, also, and also in health issues,
yeah,
as we have found out. But it's easy. It's easy, what we discussed already. So there are no complications. Everybody can come. Yeah, okay, fine. You want to be vaccinated or you don't want to be vaccinated. For that also, you have a choice and an
yep,
option. So there's no reason not to let's say come to Holland to see the show, because it's all possible. It's possible. There are
yeah,
no obstructions.
yeah, and
That you come.
there are not enough exhibitors as well to make it a really interesting show. And
Yeah,
like I said, we were going to see a lot of new things as well, as I can imagine.
yeah.
So that makes it, yeah, I'm really, yeah,
And the combination with the trade show in Aalsmeer, in the auction, of course, also makes it more interesting, because I mean,
yeah,
somebody coming from abroad, can visit two shows. So
yeah,
it's all together. Of course, adding it both up, yeah, it's very interesting. And
yeah,
I'm happy. We're on 2/3 of our normal size. That's good. I
yeah,
mean, it could have been less. No, I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm happy. And I'm grateful again that I'm able to do my job again.
yeah. I mean, I think I can imagine you and your team are really excited that that's going to happen soon. It almost feels like Christmas, waiting for
Yeah,
Christmas time.
yeah. But the excitement, of course, is being tempered by the stress that is,
Yeah,
as a juice, is coming over the stress of the excitement. That we, of course, have to do everything in a very short time, and that. But I'm now more or less a bit joking. But yeah, no, of course, we're excited. But at the same time, there's a lot of work involved, and work is fine.
yeah,
But it's now, let's say, 5 times the work we normally do in the same time, and that means that you really have to work 24/7.
yeah. And also doing the work for the exhibitions that didn't happen. I mean, that's also still back in your head as well, probably. I mean,
Yes.
for the show in New York, I mean,
Yeah.
everything was done. Tickets were bought for everybody, and
Yeah.
then it was cancelled. So,
Yeah.
but this
Are you
time,
talking? You're talking about the 911 show, or about the show?
no, the show. What is it? 1.5, 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was indeed also the first year that we had to cancel. And yeah. You make cost, and you put money in that, and you put time in that, and energy, and that indeed was had to be cancelled
yeah,
just before it took place. Yeah. But then again, I have been experienced a lot of things in my life, in my business life, in my business career, and one of them, of course, was 911. There have been, of course, other examples, from an earthquake to a, let's say, political turnover of a government, so that the planes even on the airport couldn't leave anymore. So yeah, in that respect, I can write a book. But this one is, again, a complete different, not only a chapter, a different, a complete different thing, the pandemic, Corona.
yeah,
And in the end, they all look, of course, alike if you look at the business that you have to do, or what you miss, or the problems that you encounter. But I think that Corona is on the top list, and is number one, top,
yeah,
really right on the top. And again, as my mother said, I think this is worse than the Second World War. Now, she lived it, so she's allowed to say that, but it says
yeah,
something about how all the people also experience this whole Corona time. It's just
yeah.
one of a kind.
Let's hope you can write the last chapter in 2 weeks. A book with a happy end, with a great final, back on track again, and the
Yes,
first of hopefully many more exhibitions.
exactly. I'm ready for that, and I have a lot of energy, and I'm ready to do it again, to grow, and to get back to business. As you will say, the show must go on.
Yeah, I mean that's totally true. So Dick, thank you very much for joining Flower Circus Talks. Hope to see you
You're most
soon.
welcome.
Hope to see you in 2 weeks at the show.
Please, it will
And
be great.
yeah,
And I appreciate your time, and thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you everybody for watching. Hope to see you soon.